Hi, welcome back guys. This is your sensei, back with another fanfiction. This is the first part of What If Naruto Becomes King of Devils? Now before starting, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now let's get into the fanfic. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze is a remarkable figure known for his strength and heroism. He is the hero of the Devil Civil War and the Fourth Shinobi World War, recognized as the strongest shinobi ever. Naruto has faced formidable foes, including the legendary Trihexa, an apocalyptic beast, and has even managed to injure it during battle. At 19 years old, Naruto is the son of Naruto Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. He is married to several powerful figures, including Serena Lucifer, Graphia Lucifuge, and Rias Gremory, among others. He is also the father of multiple children, including Milikas and Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. As the head of the Uzumaki and Namikaze clan houses, he plays a significant role in the Devil Society. Naruto's personality is a blend of calmness, nobility, and playfulness. He deeply cares for his family and friends, demonstrating unwavering loyalty and a strong longing for peace. His experiences in battle have fueled his determination to create a world without war. He is also known for his love of ramen, often traveling to find unique ingredients for his recipes, showcasing his dedication to culinary exploration. Physically, Naruto is tall and slender, with blue eyes and blonde, spiky hair, complemented by whisker markings on his cheeks. After the Fourth Shinobi World War, he lost his right arm, which was later replaced by a prosthetic arm made from Hashirama's cells, granting him additional abilities. Naruto's affiliations include the Uzumaki clan, Namikaze clan, and various mythological factions, reflecting his extensive connections and influence. He is alive and continues to be a pivotal figure in the ongoing struggles of his world, embodying the spirit of a true hero. Tuki, fighting spirit. Naruto can envelop himself in an aura of ki, significantly enhancing his strength, defense, and speed. He can soon protect himself with a tremendous Tuki, which manifests as a purple aura. Demon Lord's Haki. This technique enables Naruto's aura and magical power to exert strong spiritual pressure over his targets, potentially inflicting severe magical effects. Those who are too weak may face dire consequences, including losing their sanity. Chakra. As a reincarnation of Ashura Otsutsuki, Naruto possesses vast reserves of powerful chakra, at least 6 times greater than Kakashi's. Initially, his control was poor, but his immense reserves allowed him to withstand 5.5 days of continuous battle against formidable opponents. Over time, Naruto's control improved significantly. He learned to transfer his chakra to others and perform one-handed hand seals. His powerful life force grants him extreme longevity, healing abilities, stamina, and vitality, allowing him to survive the extraction of a tailed beast, although he required Sakura's assistance to stay alive. Additionally, Naruto mastered the ability to cast and counter genjutsu, successfully repelling Shikamaru's shadow imitation technique, a feat no one else could achieve. Jinchuriki transformations. Naruto can enter Kurama Chakra mode Keisim, enveloping his body in orange chakra and granting him immense strength. This marks his first successful control of Kurama's chakra, known as Kurama Chakra Mode 1 Keisim 1. He can also transform into the giant Nine Tails using Kurama Chakra Mode 2 Keisim 2, achieving a perfect Jinchuriki transformation. Naruto has completed his full-tailed beast transformation. Senjutsu. Naruto later trained in Senjutsu at Mount Myaboku, a feat made possible by his high chakra reserves. Unlike Jiraiya, he could perfectly balance natural chakra with his own, entering a complete sage mode, indicated by the orange pigmentation around his yellow eyes and toad-like pupils. His appearance remained otherwise unchanged. Sage mode enhances Naruto's techniques, physical abilities, and allows him to utilize Frog Kata, a taijutsu style, along with a refined sense of chakra capable of identifying different signatures from great distances. Since Fukasaku could not fuse with Naruto to gather natural energy due to Kurama's interference, Naruto employed shadow clones to maintain the technique, utilizing the clones' buildup of natural energy transferred to him. However, creating more than 5 clones would disrupt the focus needed for gathering natural energy. Over time, Naruto's ability to enter Sage Mode improved, and after achieving unity with Kurama, he learned to combine Sage Mode with Kurama's chakra, enhancing his abilities further. Six Paths Senjutsu. Naruto gained access to Six Paths Senjutsu, Rikudo Senjutsu, allowing him to fly and manifest up to 9 truth-seeking ball, composed of all 5 essential chakra natures and yin-yang release. He can mold these ball into various shapes, fire them as projectiles, control them from a distance, or convert them into Tailed Beast Ball to create Tailed Beast Ball Raisin Shuriken. While his shadow clones cannot produce truth-seeking ball, Naruto can transfer control of his own to any of his clones. Six Paths Sage Mode. With the power granted by Hagoromo, Naruto accessed Six Paths Sage Mode, Rikudo Sunin Modo. He donned a new Nine Tails Chakra Mode cloak, which he could access instantly and maintain for extended PRDS compared to his standard Sage Mode. This mode further enhances his physical attributes and techniques, allowing him to dodge attacks moving at light speed and deflect truth-seeking ball. It also heightens his sensory abilities, enabling him to sense Limbo's invisible shadows. Ninjutsu, Shadow Clone Technique. Naruto's signature technique is the Shadow Clone Technique. Initially struggling with a basic illusionary clone, he learned to create shadow clones on a large scale after studying the Scroll of Seals. His skill with shadow clones flourished, allowing him to create hundreds of them while retaining significant chakra in each. He uses them to outnumber or deceive enemies, maneuver mid-air, transform into weapons, scout areas, or test opponents' abilities. Multiple Shadow Clone Technique. The user creates a large number of clones. Clone Body Blow. The user creates a clone to attack the opponent. Clone Great Explosion. The user creates a clone that can be detonated. Clone Spinning Heel Drop. The user creates a clone to perform a spinning heel drop. Wind Style. Shadow Clone. This technique allows the user to create a shadow clone infused with wind, enabling it to perform jutsu and interact with the environment. If the clone is injured, it reverts to its natural wind state, affecting its surroundings. Fire Style. Shadow Clone. This technique allows the user to create a shadow clone infused with fire, enabling it to perform jutsu and interact with the environment. If the clone is injured, it reverts to its natural fire state, impacting its surroundings. Water Style. Shadow Clone. This technique allows the user to create a shadow clone infused with water, enabling it to perform jutsu and interact with the environment. If the clone is injured, it reverts to its natural water state, soaking its surroundings. Earth Style. Shadow Clone. This technique allows the user to create a shadow clone infused with earth. Being a shadow clone, it can perform jutsu and interact with the environment due to its physical substance. If the clone is injured, it will revert to its natural earth state, affecting whatever is nearby. Lightning Style. Shadow Clone. This technique enables the user to create a shadow clone infused with lightning. Similar to the earth variant, it can perform jutsu and interact with the environment. If the clone is injured, it will revert to its natural lightning state, impacting its surroundings. Rasengan. Naruto's second trademark technique, the Rasengan, initially required him to use a shadow clone to form its spherical shape due to his poor chakra control. Over time, he developed more extensive versions and learned to perform it faster, increasing its size. By using Senjutsu or Kurama's chakra, Naruto can create more powerful variations, including the Super Mini-Tailed Beast Ball, which he performs similarly to the Rasengan. In the anime, his Tailed Beast chakra allows him to create massive Rasengan without using his hands, launching them in quick succession. Big Ball Rasengan. A larger and more powerful variation of the Rasengan that requires more chakra infusion to create. Planetary Rasengan. An advanced version of the Big Ball Rasengan, where Naruto creates 3 regular-sized Rasengan that orbit around a larger central one. Wind Release. Rasengan. Naruto adds a chakra nature to his Rasengan, resulting in a windy variant. Wind Release. Raisin Shuriken. An advanced version of the Wind Release. Rasengan. This technique transforms the chakra into a shuriken, enhancing its power and appearance. Tailed Beast Rasengan. In Tailed Beast mode, Naruto creates a Rasengan with the help of his Tailed Beast. Tailed Beast Ball Raisin Shuriken. A combination of a Raisin Shuriken and the Tailed Beast Ball, resulting in an incredibly powerful weapon. Wind release, repeated Rasen Shuriken. Naruto creates multiple Rasen Shuriken and hurls them at his opponent. Wind release, ultra big ball Rasen Shuriken, a larger and more destructive version of the wind release, Rasen Shuriken. Chakra natures. Naruto possesses all 5 basic releases. Wind release. Naruto's wind release chakra nature is his inherent affinity, sharp and powerful, capable of slicing through obstacles. Wind style, gale palm. This technique allows Naruto to create a gust of wind from his palm. Wind style, gale kick. Naruto infuses his kick with wind chakra, delivering a powerful strike that sends a gust towards the enemy. Wind style, breakthrough. After gathering chakra, the user expels it as a gust of wind, powerful enough to clear the area around them. It can also be used to create a vortex of wind to save a falling ally. Wind style, air bullets. This technique shoots multiple air bullets at high speed, capable of subduing a group of enemies. Wind style, wind wall. Naruto creates a wall of wind to deflect projectiles and protect himself from attacks. Wind style, whirlwind spin. A defensive technique where the user spins and releases a large amount of wind chakra, creating a whirlwind that defends against attacks and can push back opponents. Lightning release. Naruto's lightning release chakra nature allows him to generate and manipulate electricity, charging his attacks with stunning force. Lightning release, electromagnetic murder. This technique generates a field of electricity that can shock opponents, serving both offensive and defensive purposes. Lightning release, thunderbolt. The user sends a bolt of electricity that branches out to attack multiple enemies. Lightning release, white lightning, a signature technique that requires no hand seals, concentrating lightning chakra into a fingertip to fire a powerful bolt. Lightning release, purple lightning. Naruto unleashes a stream of purple electricity to attack targets from a short to mid-range, powerful enough to summon rain clouds. Lightning release, crimson shock. Similar to other lightning techniques, this concentrates a substantial amount of lightning chakra in the palm. Fire release. Naruto's fire release chakra nature embodies power and intensity, akin to a raging fire. Naruto possesses the ability to create and control fire, transforming him into a formidable force capable of incinerating anything in his path. His signature technique, fire style, Great Fireball Jutsu, allows him to gather chakra within his body, convert it into fire, and unleash it as a massive orb or a continuous stream of flames. The intensity of this attack can be adjusted by controlling the chakra volume. Another technique, fire style, Phoenix Sage Fire Technique, enables Naruto to launch a barrage of small fireballs into the air, creating the illusion of a single fireball that bursts into many. These flames can mesmerize targets as they swirl around, making them difficult to evade. With fire style, Dragon Fire Technique, he expels flames that travel straight ahead, engulfing anything in their path upon contact. Naruto also utilizes fire style, Fire Dragon Flame Bullet, where he compresses chakra into a dragon-shaped fireball and skillfully directs it at his opponent. The fire style, Great Dragon Fire Technique is similar, allowing him to manipulate a large fireball with precision. With fire style, Great Flame Flower, he creates multiple fireballs that rain down on his target, causing widespread destruction. His most powerful technique, fire style, Majestic Destroyer Flame, involves expelling a vast sea of flames that is nearly impossible to avoid. In contrast, Naruto's water release techniques showcase his adaptability. With water release, Great Waterfall Technique, he forms a strong column of water to attack, while the Water Dragon Bullet Technique shapes water into a mighty dragon that strikes with force. Defensively, Naruto can create a protective wall of water with Water Formation Wall, intercepting enemy attacks. The Exploding Water Colliding Wave Technique allows him to unleash a torrent of water that overwhelms opponents. He can also summon a massive vortex of water for protection and launch jets of water with Water Trumpet. Naruto has a connection with the toads of Mount Mayaboku, allowing him to summon them as allies in battle. Initially limited to smaller toads due to his chakra control, he has since improved and can now summon larger toads like Gamabunta. In addition to his elemental abilities, Naruto has shown proficiency in defensive techniques and demonic transformations. He is also a MSTR magician, having developed various magical techniques. His source magic allows him to manipulate the essence of life itself, with spells that can resurrect the dead or create powerful entities. Time magic further enhances his abilities, enabling him to manipulate time itself, though it requires knowledge of the target's past. Through these diverse skills, Naruto continues to grow stronger and more versatile in his battles. The spell can also be used to stop the time of a target or send them to the future. However, Revive is challenging to cast, and the number of targets is limited. It also has a limit of 100 years when rewinding time. Life magic. Ent, a spell that heals wounds. Enchel, a more potent version of Ent. Chael, the most potent version of Ent. It reverses and heals all damage done to the afflicted and can even heal stigmas inflicted by holy swords, which healing magic should not affect. Location magic. Inoi, a spell that tracks the location of whatever it was cast on. Illusion magic. Linel, a spell that creates illusions. It can be used to change the caster's appearance or create illusions of situations that didn't happen. The caster can also use it to make themselves and others invisible to the naked eye. Netanerius summons a collar around the neck of the target and puts them into a dream that they will never wake up from unless they fulfill a specific condition or the caster chooses to release them. Restriction magic. Jigil, magic that binds the target. With magic. Chains. Zola Edypt, a spell that seals the target's movement and magic power with chains of twisting black flames. At the same time, those chains trace a magic circle to compose a spell to finish them off. Deaden, a spell that increases the mass of a target. Elemental magic. 1 fire magic. 2 water magic. 3 wind magic. For lightning magic. 5 darkness magic. Fire magic. A form of magic that revolves around the use of fire, allowing the caster to conjure, manipulate, and control the element for various purposes. Fire magic can also work similarly to explosives. Griga allows the caster to shoot a projectile of fire magic at the enemy. Geo Grace Hellflame Annihilation Mortar, the highest grade of fire magic within the Devil's Magic system, a powerful miniature jet black sun that can be fired off at the enemy. Water magic, a form of magic that revolves around water use, allowing the user to employ it for various purposes. The caster generates large volumes of water in different shapes and forms, manipulating its physical properties to inflict blunt damage upon targets. Advanced users can control seas as far as oceans are concerned. Rio Idrum, like a fountain, Rio Idrum spews dark-colored water that swallows its targets. Gia Glees, a spell that summons a meteor shower to rain down on enemies, with large, falling magic stones glistening with a jet-black sheen. Wind magic, a form of magic that revolves around using air, allowing the caster to conjure, manipulate, and control the element for various purposes, such as creating gusts of wind to attack enemies or creating tornadoes for massive damage. Riga Shraid, a spell that shoots a flurry of wind blades to slice the enemy. Lightning magic, a form of magic that revolves around the use of lightning, utilizing electricity for offense and defense. Lightning attacks can electrocute opponents to various degrees, from paralyzing enemies to causing significant destruction. Jurast, a spell that gathers jet black lightning on the caster's hand, swelling in size and power until it is fired at an enemy. G Novus, a spell that releases black fangs of lightning that cling to their target and tear into them until they are destroyed. Darkness magic, a form of magic that revolves around darkness, allowing users to manipulate and control it for various effects such as curses and offensive projectiles. High-level users can absorb and dissolve most energy-based attacks. Raisin Ringu, the caster creates a dark purple orb of darkness magic surrounded by a series of white rings of wind magic that orbit the central sphere. Darison Ringu, an exceptionally powerful version that can cause massive destruction on impact. Superhuman strength. The character possesses immense levels of superhuman strength, able to hold back against formidable foes without suffering. Superhuman speed, considered the fastest in the underworld due to inherited abilities. Invulnerability. The character has unparalleled durability, remaining unfazed by attacks that would incapacitate others. MSTR Swordsman. The character has immense skills in swordsmanship, having surpassed legendary figures in combat. He can match many sword fighters and is among the strongest in the DxD world. As a MSTR of hand-to-hand combat, Naruto combines physical skills with the power of destruction. He could stand against formidable foes like the Ten Tails Jinchuriki Madara and the Mother of Chakra, Kaguya, and dominate both. As the king of his peerage, Naruto can use castling, allowing him to swap locations with one of his rooks. He is a technique-type fighter who polishes and masters all his demonic powers and skills to dispatch enemies efficiently. As a devil, Naruto can fly using his wings, and he can also fly without them. Naruto possesses Draco's Paradox, his sacred gear, the most potent weapon among all the Longinus, which holds Ghidorah's soul in the form of a necklace. He wields the Ryujin no Tsurugi Dragon God's blade, granting him the ability to manipulate tides, create water barriers, and summon rainstorms, especially effective near bodies of water. The King Piece is a malevolent artifact that can reincarnate into a devil. The Fourth Great Ninja War has concluded, and everyone has been released from the infinite Tsukuyomi. Naruto and Team 7 successfully sealed the Mother of Chakra, Kaguya Otsutsuki, saving the world from becoming a living mummy. In a fierce battle, Naruto and Sasuke lost their right and left arms, respectively. Although the fight ended without a clear victor, Sasuke acknowledged Naruto's strength, leading him to abandon his intention of assassinating the Kages. As a result, Naruto was hailed as the hero of the Fourth Shinobi War. After the war, Naruto gained access to his parents' house, where he discovered his mother's sword and her detailed notes on kenjutsu, as well as extensive notes on sealing techniques she had left behind. He also found his father's notes on the Flying Thunder God technique, providing him insight into this powerful jutsu. Following the creation of a new arm for Naruto using Hashirama Senju's cells by Tsunade, it fit him perfectly and synced seamlessly with both his and Kurama's chakras. Naruto earned the title of Jonin and gained the respect of everyone in the village. With Yugao's help, he learned kenjutsu and quickly mastered it, demonstrating a natural talent for the art. He also began creating his formula for his father's Flying Thunder God technique. During this time, an Otsutsuki from the moon named Tonari Otsutsuki attacked the village, targeting Hinata. He managed to kidnap her sister, Hanabi, and the moon began to fall towards the earth. The Kages initially planned to blast the moon to prevent catastrophe but discovered that this unknown Otsutsuki had kidnapped Hanabi. They sent a team consisting of Naruto, Sakura, Hinata, Shikamaru, and Sai to the moon to rescue Hanabi and stop Tonari. During their mission, Naruto learned of Hinata's deep feelings for him. Touched by her unwavering love and dedication, he finally accepted her feelings, realizing his affection for her. After successfully saving Hanabi and preventing the moon from falling, Naruto and Hinata began dating, their bond strengthened by their shared experiences and newfound understanding of each other. With marriage on their minds, Naruto ramped up missions to save for their wedding and a special ring for Hinata. Currently, he was skirting a family, and while they enjoyed a hotel stay, Naruto reflected on his dramatically transformed life. After completing his mission, he reported to Kakashi, and the hostage's office felt familiar after countless debriefings. Stepping out, he couldn't help but grin. Tonight was his date with Hinata. 4 months had flown by since his confession, and his heart skipped at the thought of seeing her. Reaching the Hyuga compound, he was met with warm greetings from the guards, their respect for the village hero evident. Then, there she was. Hinata emerged in a flowing purple dress that accentuated her light skin and dark blue hair. A serene smile graced her features as she launched herself into his arms for a tight hug. "Naruto-kun, I've missed you," she murmured, burying her face in his chest. Chuckling, Naruto returned the embrace, the familiar scent of lavender shampoo washing over him. "Missed you too, Hinata-chan," he replied softly, kissing her forehead before gently stroking her hair. Although they were not strangers to dates, tonight held a unique air. Naruto had something special planned, a secret simmering in his heart. The chosen restaurant was bathed in a warm, dim glow, with the soft murmur of conversation and gentle clinking of glasses creating a relaxed atmosphere. Ever the gentleman, Naruto complimented Hinata on her beauty as he led her to their reserved table tucked away in a secluded corner, offering a breathtaking view of the village skyline, a perfect spot for a romantic evening. As they settled in, a waiter approached with menus. Naruto, ever the planner, had already discreetly placed an order for a 3-course meal and a bottle of their favorite wine, ensuring the evening flowed smoothly. Their conversation was easy, a comfortable mix of reminiscing about their childhoods and sharing dreams for the future. Laughter mingled with heartfelt moments, and the joy of being together was evident in every stolen glance and playful nudge. Dinner finished, and they strolled hand in hand to a nearby park. Naruto's heart raced with nervousness and excitement as he expressed his love and appreciation for Hinata's presence. Finally, they reached a specific spot, and Naruto stopped, a playful glint in his eyes. "Close your eyes, Hinata," he instructed. Intrigued, Hinata complied, allowing him to guide her a few steps forward. "All right, open them," he murmured, a hint of a smile dancing on his lips. Hinata gasped at the sight before her. Candles flickered around a nearby bench, arranged in a perfect heart shape. Soft music filled the air, a carefully chosen playlist for their special evening. Overwhelmed with emotion, Hinata turned to Naruto, her eyes shining. For the rest of the evening, they felt like they were in a dream. Cuddled together on the bench, they shared popcorn, stole kisses under the starlit sky, and enjoyed the quiet beauty of the park bathed in moonlight. As the night drew to a close, Naruto walked Hinata back to her compound, the warmth of their love a tangible presence in the cool night air. At the doorstep, they lingered for a moment, a silent understanding passing between them. Then, Naruto leaned in, his kiss tender and filled with unspoken promises. Hinata leaned into his touch, whispering, "I love you, Naruto." "I love you too, Hinata," he replied, pulling her close. "Always." With that, they parted ways, treasuring the memory of this perfect evening and the promise of a future filled with love. The next day in the Hokage's office, Naruto slumped in the chair across from Kakashi's desk, frustration etched on his face. "These SRT missions are getting ridiculous, Kakashi-sensei. Walking a baker to the next town? Seriously?" Kakashi sighed, leaning back in his Hokage chair. "I understand your frustration, Naruto. However, these missions help rebuild the village after the recent Otsutsuki attack. Every completed mission, even SCRT duty, contributes resources and strengthens our alliances." He paused, a knowing glint in his eyes. "Besides, haven't you noticed a surge in solo SCRT requests from certain enthusiastic fans?" Naruto groaned, burying his face in his hands. "Don't even remind me, sensei. Every kunoichi in the village suddenly needs a personal bodyguard to walk them to the grocery store." Kakashi chuckled. "Perhaps with a little time, the novelty will wear off. Now about that baker." Naruto's excitement surged as he received his next mission from the Hokage. As a jonin, he was eager to take on more challenging tasks and prove his worth as a ninja. However, his enthusiasm was slightly dampened when he met his client, an astute young woman during the mission briefing. "Hello, Naruto-kun," she greeted with a flutter of her lashes. "My name is Hana, and I'm your client for this mission." Though Naruto felt nervous around Hana, he knew he couldn't let his emotions interfere with his duty. "What's the mission?" he asked, determined to focus on the task. Hana explained that she needed Naruto's assistance in locating a rare herb in a far-off mountainous area to cure a disease plaguing her village. Naruto nodded, loading his backpack with supplies before setting off with Hana. As they journeyed, Hana persistently made flirtatious comments and advances toward Naruto, attempting to distract him. Despite Naruto's efforts to maintain his focus on the mission, Hana's behavior made it increasingly challenging. "You're such a strong and capable ninja," she purred. "I'm sure you're amazing in many ways." Naruto's face flushed as he struggled to deflect her advances. "Hana-san, please concentrate on the mission," he firmly requested. Though Hana sighed, she tried to flirt with Naruto, making it difficult for him to focus as they continued their ascent up the mountain. Arriving at the summit, Naruto swiftly retrieved the rare herb, but Hana's advances persisted as they descended the mountain. "Come on, Naruto-kun," she whispered. Let's have a little fun before we head back to the village. Aware of his duty as a ninja, Naruto finally reached his limit. Hana-san, my duty is to complete this mission, he asserted. I can't allow your actions to distract me from that. Please refrain from attempting to flirt with me. Hana looked surprised but then smiled, apologizing for her behavior. Grateful that the situation had been resolved, Naruto and Hana quietly returned to the village. Handing the herb to Hana, Naruto felt a sense of pride in completing the mission despite the distractions. As Hana thanked him, Naruto reaffirmed his commitment to his duty as a ninja, knowing he must always maintain professionalism. Kakashi understood the financial strain the village was under, especially after the various crises it had faced in recent years. The aftermath of the Nine Tails attack, Orochimaru's schemes, and the Pain invasion had depleted Konoha's resources. However, after the Fourth Shinobi World War, the village's popularity and fame had grown, attracting more clients and missions. Look, Naruto, there's not much I can do to help you with this. You just have to persevere through it, as it's only been a few months since you became a Jonin, Kakashi explained. Naruto sighed, realizing he wouldn't win this battle. Deciding to change the subject, he mentally shifted gears, knowing he had other matters to attend to. However, as he prepared to leave, Naruto remembered that his and Hinata's first anniversary was fast approaching. Determined, he penned a formal letter to the daimyo, explaining that he couldn't undertake any missions for the time being due to personal reasons. He entrusted Kakashi with delivering the letter, knowing his sensei had a scheduled meeting with the daimyo for business matters. Hinata stood in Naruto's kitchen, enveloped by the enticing aroma of simmering ramen broth. Amidst the savory scents, she couldn't help but notice the lingering gazes directed at Naruto and the envious looks she received from other women in the village. Stirring the broth thoughtfully, Hinata couldn't shake off the nagging thoughts of those who sought to win her beloved Naruto's attention. She knew Naruto's friendly and outgoing nature made him naturally appealing to others, but occasionally, she couldn't help but feel a twinge of unease when he embarked on lengthy missions. As she continued cooking, Hinata tried to push aside negative thoughts, reminding herself of Naruto's unwavering love for her and her strength as a woman. Despite her occasional insecurities, she remained devoted to Naruto, never considering straying from their relationship, no matter how frustrated she felt during his prolonged absences. With a determined smile, Hinata reminisced about the joyful moments she and Naruto shared, reflecting on the challenges they had overcome together and the deepening of their love over time. Focusing on the task, she carefully prepared the ramen, wanting everything to be perfect for Naruto's return. When Naruto finally arrived home, Hinata greeted him with a warm embrace, the aroma of ramen filling the air. As they sat down to enjoy their meal together, Hinata felt a sense of peace settle over her. Despite the inevitable challenges and temptations that arose, she knew that their bond was unbreakable, fortified by their shared experiences and unwavering commitment to each other. She smiled at Naruto and took a sip of the broth, feeling grateful for the simple joys of life: a warm meal, a cozy home, and the love of a good man. Naruto and Hinata had been eagerly anticipating their first dating anniversary for weeks. They had planned a romantic dinner at their favorite restaurant, followed by a moonlit walk through the park. However, just as they were about to leave, an urgent letter arrived from the daimyo. Naruto's expression shifted from excitement to worry as he read the letter. Hinata immediately sensed that something was wrong. "What is it, Naruto?" she asked, her voice tinged with concern. Naruto sighed heavily. "I've been given a mission by the daimyo. It's urgent, and I have to leave right away." Hinata's heart sank. She had been so excited to spend the evening with Naruto, but now their plans seemed ruined. "I'm sorry, Hinata," Naruto said, wrapping a consoling arm around her. "I don't want to leave you like this, but I must go. I promise I'll make it up to you when I return." Hinata nodded, trying to hide her disappointment. "I understand, Naruto. Your duty comes first." Naruto quickly packed his bags and departed for the mission, leaving Hinata in their home, feeling a profound sense of loss. Determined to make the best of the situation, she decided to follow through with their plans independently. When Hinata arrived at the restaurant alone, she couldn't help but feel the emptiness of Naruto's absence. She took a deep breath, trying to focus on enjoying the evening, but her heart wasn't in it. The romantic ambience felt hollow without Naruto by her side. After dinner, Hinata walked through the park alone under the moonlit sky they had planned to share. She tried to appreciate the serene beauty of the night, but every moment was a reminder of Naruto's absence. At home, Hinata settled in with a book, hoping to distract herself. As she turned the pages, her mind wandered to Naruto, hoping he was safe and thinking of her. Meanwhile, Naruto was on his mission, trying to focus on the task. However, his thoughts drifted back to Hinata and the anniversary they were supposed to be celebrating. "I wish I could be there with you," Naruto muttered. "I hate that today, of all days, this mission had to come up." He recalled the letter from the daimyo, which explained that he had to go on the mission because a king's daughter had become infatuated with him after he saved her during his training trip with Jiraiya. The princess wouldn't take no for an answer and had pleaded with her father to send for Naruto. Naruto knew that the daimyo significantly influenced who could become Hokage. Completing several missions was essential to his dream of becoming Hokage. Additionally, Naruto was driven by his longing to buy Hinata a wedding ring and pay for their wedding. Since he had not received any money to win the war or save the world multiple times, taking on missions was his only option. He could have asked for money or sought help but chose not to because it would feel like cheating his ninja way. As Naruto trudged through the mission, his heart was heavy with the thought of Hinata alone on their special day. He wished he could find a way to balance his duties and his personal life better, but for now he had to focus on the task at hand. Upon reaching the king's palace, Naruto was greeted with a grandiosity that only added to his frustration. The princess, who had orchestrated this entire mission, greeted him with an enthusiastic smile. "Naruto-kun, you're finally here." Naruto forced a polite smile, hiding his annoyance. "Yes, I'm here. What's the mission?" The princess giggled, clearly more interested in his presence than the mission. "Oh, nothing too serious. I just needed some protection while I attended a few royal events." Naruto sighed inwardly. This was going to be an extended mission. As he followed the princess through her daily schedule, he wandered back to Hinata, wondering how she was handling the evening alone. 2 months had passed since Naruto left for his mission, and Hinata eagerly anticipated his return. She had received news that Naruto was returning to the village and decided to throw a party to celebrate. Hinata spent the day preparing for the celebration, ensuring everything was perfect. The house was decorated, and she cooked Naruto's favorite dishes. She invited the former Konoha 11 members, knowing Naruto would be thrilled to see his friends again. As evening approached, the guests began to arrive. Kiba and Akamaru were the first, followed by Shino, Sakura, Shikamaru, Ino, Choji, Tenten, Lee, and Sai. The place was soon filled with laughter and chatter, creating a warm and welcoming atmosphere. Hinata, dressed in an appealing lavender kimono, greeted each guest with a smile. She felt a mix of nervous anticipation and joy, knowing Naruto would walk through the door any minute now. "Is everything ready?" Sakura asked, helping Hinata arrange the last food on the table. "Yes, thank you, Sakura," Hinata replied, her eyes sparkling excitedly. "I'm just so happy that Naruto is finally coming home." Although Naruto's return was delayed due to saving a village from bandits, Hinata decided to go ahead with the celebration, reassuring everyone that he would be back soon. Naruto had sent a message with his toad summoners, explaining the situation and promising his swift return. "Hey, Hinata," Kiba said, his words slightly slurred. "Do you remember that time we went on a mission, and you almost got us in trouble because you were too shy to speak up?" Hinata giggled, her face flushed. "I remember. But it wasn't because I was shy. I was trying to be cautious." Kiba rolled his eyes. "Whatever. You were still too quiet. But you're not quiet now, are you?" Hinata shook her head, her lengthy hair swaying with the movement. "Nope. Not quite now." They stumbled down the street, arms linked together for support. Kiba suddenly stopped and pointed to a nearby convenience store. "Hey, let's go get some snacks," he exclaimed. Hinata nodded eagerly, and they made their way to the store, laughing and joking the whole way there. They grabbed whatever looked good to them from the aisles. As they approached the cashier, Hinata suddenly stopped. "Oh no, Kiba, I don't have any money. Kiba grinned. Don't worry, Hinata. I got this. He pulled out his wallet and paid for their snacks, earning a smile from Hinata. As they left the store, Hinata looked up at the starry sky. You know, Kiba, I'm glad we're friends. Kiba wrapped his arm around her shoulders. Me too, Hinata. They continued their walk home, munching on their snacks. When they reached Hinata's house, she invited Kiba in, noting that it was getting late. Inside, Hinata stumbled a little and turned to Kiba. Hey Kiba, do you want more wine? She asked. Kiba nodded, and they sat on the couch, continuing to drink. Hinata began talking about her situation with Naruto, and Kiba moved closer to her. They soon found themselves kissing, the moment fueled by alcohol and Hinata's pent-up feelings. As they continued, they made their way to the bedroom, where Hinata's judgment was clouded. They kissed deeply, and as the moment escalated, Hinata found herself lost in the feelings, despite her thoughts of Naruto. The next day, Naruto returned early and headed to their home to see Hinata. Hinata, Hinata, he called out. When there was no response, he decided to check their bedroom. To his shock, he stumbled upon Hinata and Kiba together. Witnessing the scene shattered Naruto's heart, and he collapsed to his knees, overwhelmed with pain and disbelief. In that moment, Kurama seized control of Naruto's body and guided him out of the bedroom. Naruto wore a blank expression, his silence suffocating. Though fury coursed through him, Kurama understood that Naruto was on the verge of doing something irreversible. In Naruto's body, Kurama glared at the pair. How could you be so unfaithful? His words jolted both Hinata and Kiba awake, the weight of their actions crashing down on them. You took advantage of everything he sacrificed for you, Kurama continued. He exhausted himself on missions for you. Overwhelmed with guilt, Hinata struggled to maintain composure as tears streamed down her face. Turning to Kiba, Kurama unleashed his wrath. And you, how could you stoop so low? If I ever see you again, I'll end you without hesitation. Before they could react, Kurama activated Naruto's Kyuubi chakra mode and vanished in a flurry of golden dust. Left alone with the weight of her betrayal, Hinata crumbled, her sobs echoing through the room as she grappled with the consequences of her actions. In the aftermath, she found herself consumed by overwhelming guilt and regret, her heart heavy with the knowledge that she had irreparably damaged her relationship with Naruto. Naruto sat within the expanse of his mindscape, his brow furrowed with disbelief and hurt. His eyes, usually bright with determination, were now clouded with confusion and pain as he grappled with the betrayal of his friends. His fists clenched at his sides, knuckles turning white with the force of his emotions. Despite the turmoil within him, a flicker of determination remained, a silent promise to himself that he would not let this betrayal break him. Beside him, Kurama stood tall, a quiet but steadfast presence, offering silent support as Naruto navigated the storm of his emotions. I don't understand, Kurama, Naruto finally choked out, his voice heavy with emotion. How could they do this to me? I thought they were my friends. Kurama, a towering mass of orange chakra with 9 tails, let out a low rumble. Humans are complicated creatures, Naruto. Sometimes, they make choices that hurt others without fully understanding the consequences. But Hinata. Naruto's voice cracked. And Kiba, I trusted them. Trust is a fragile thing, Naruto, Kurama rumbled again. It takes time to build, but it can be shattered instantly. Naruto slammed his fist against the empty mindscape, frustration spilling over. I don't know if I can forgive them for this. Kurama's voice, deep and powerful, held a hint of empathy. That's a decision only you can make, Naruto. But remember, holding on to anger and resentment will only poison your heart. It'll cloud your judgment and make you the very thing you hate. Naruto slumped his shoulders, defeated. I know, Kurama. But right now, I can't help but feel betrayed and angry. It's okay to feel that way, Naruto, Kurama said. Just don't let it consume you. You're stronger than this. You faced down worse. Remember, you're not alone. You have your friends, your village, and me. We'll get through this together. Naruto let out a shaky sigh. I'll try, Kurama. But it's going to take time. Kurama nudged Naruto's shoulder with a massive paw, the gesture surprisingly gentle. I'll be here for you every step of the way, Naruto. We'll get through this together. After all, a whiskered knucklehead and a grumpy-tailed beast make a pretty good team, wouldn't you say? A faint smile touched Naruto's lips. Yeah, Kurama, we do make a pretty good team. Sasuke entered the Hokage tower with a determined stride, his dark cloak billowing behind him. His expression was stoic, betraying little of his emotions. As he approached Kakashi's office, memories of past missions flooded his mind, reminding him of the challenges he had faced and the battles he had fought. Knocking lightly on the door, Sasuke awaited permission to enter. He knew that his presence in the village still stirred mixed feelings among its inhabitants, but he was determined to fulfill his duties and prove himself worthy of redemption. Enter, Kakashi beckoned. Sasuke complied, stepping into the room. Greetings, Sasuke, Kakashi greeted. Hello, Kakashi-sensei, Sasuke replied respectfully. The conversation flowed between them. Kakashi inquired about Sasuke's recent missions, subtly gauging if his skills were being used for good. Sasuke, ever guarded, assured him of his loyalty to Konoha. Kakashi acknowledged Sasuke's long journey since their Team 7 days, a hint of pride in his voice. Sasuke offered a curt nod, a silent admission of his growth. The conversation then shifted to Sasuke's reintegration. And how are you adjusting to life back in the village? Kakashi asked gently. Sasuke hesitated, the question hitting a nerve. It's been an adjustment, but I'm getting used to it, he finally admitted. Kakashi, sensing Sasuke's struggle, offered a supportive hand. If you ever need guidance or support, don't hesitate to ask. You're not alone, Sasuke. Sasuke paused, surprised by the unexpected warmth. After a moment, he met Kakashi's gaze and nodded slightly. Thank you, Kakashi-sensei. I appreciate that. No problem, Kakashi replied, his eye crinkling under his mask. Just remember, the village is here for you, Sasuke. Sasuke stared out the window momentarily, a flicker of emotion crossing his face. Understood, he finally said, his voice softer than usual. The path to redemption wouldn't be easy, but with Kakashi's support, he could regain his place in the village. Exiting the Hokage's office, Sasuke felt drawn towards his former teammates. Stepping into the sunlight, he was met with an unexpected sight. Atop the monument dedicated to the Fourth Hokage sat Naruto, his expression carrying a weight of melancholy. Ascending to the top, Sasuke called out, "Naruto," but received no response. He approached Naruto and gently tapped on his shoulder, seeking his attention. Naruto turned towards Sasuke, his eyes devoid of their usual warmth and enthusiasm. Concern etched on Sasuke's features, he asked, "What's wrong, Naruto?" Naruto recounted the events to Sasuke, detailing the heart-wrenching betrayal he had experienced. They lapsed into a heavy silence, the weight of Naruto's words hanging between them. After a moment, Sasuke broke the silence, his voice laced with disbelief. "So what are you going to do now?" Naruto's response was flat, lacking his usual vibrancy. "Sasuke, No, I need to leave." His words carried an unusual weight, unsettling Sasuke. Sasuke, though not entirely surprised, offered, "Do you want me to inform Kakashi that you're leaving?" "No, Sasuke. I'm leaving the world. Could you open a portal and transport me to another world so I can think about what to do next?" Naruto requested, turning to face Sasuke solemnly. Naruto's request took Sasuke aback, but he agreed, assuring Naruto that he would stand by him just as Naruto had stood by him in his moments of darkness. With a nod, Sasuke left to fulfill Naruto's request. Before departing, Naruto asked if Sasuke could retrieve all the memorabilia from his home, photos, portraits of his parents, scrolls, and other belongings, as he no longer wished to set foot there. Naruto conveyed, "I'll be waiting for you at the Valley of the End." With her eyes swollen from crying, Hinata desperately searched for Naruto after leaving the building, intent on telling him what had transpired. Using her Byakugan, she scanned the village but found no sign of him. Despite visiting his favorite spots and places they frequented together, Naruto remained elusive. Along the way, she couldn't ignore the envious glances from other women unaware of the recent events. Spotting Sasuke, Hinata saw a potential source of information about Naruto's whereabouts. Rushing towards him, she called out his name, hoping he could help her locate Naruto. "Sasuke-san!" Hinata exclaimed, her voice tinged with desperation. However, Sasuke continued walking, seemingly ignoring her attempts to engage him. Frustrated, Hinata persisted, pleading for any information about Naruto's location. "Sasuke-san, please, have you seen Naruto-kun?" she implored, her desperation evident. Turning to her with evident irritation, Sasuke delivered a harsh rebuke. "Look, Hinata, you've caused him enough pain. Give him space. He doesn't want to see you." Hinata's heart sank at Sasuke's words, but she refused to relent, insisting on explaining her side of the story to Naruto. "Hinata, I'm telling you to leave him alone," Sasuke continued firmly, his tone leaving no room for argument. Struggling to hold back tears, Hinata pressed for Naruto's whereabouts, hoping for a chance to explain herself. But Sasuke's patience wore thin. "Enough, Hinata. You've shattered his heart by betraying his trust, and now you seek to justify it?" he exclaimed, his voice cutting through the air. With that, Sasuke walked away, leaving Hinata alone on the road as the villagers began to murmur and cast judgmental glances her way. She could feel the weight of their scorn as the realization sank in that she had deeply wounded the heart of their beloved hero. After retrieving Naruto's belongings from his house, Sasuke went to the Valley of the End, where he knew Naruto would be waiting. Upon arriving, he approached Naruto and handed him his belongings in silence. Then, with a solemn expression, Sasuke opened a portal using his Rinnegan. Before Naruto stepped through, Sasuke asked, "Are you sure this is what you want?" his voice laced with concern. Without directly answering, Naruto reached into his ninja pouch and retrieved his father's three-pronged kunai, passing it to Sasuke. "Use this to summon me if more of the Otsutsuki show up," Naruto instructed, his gaze unwavering. With that, Naruto entered the portal, disappearing from the elemental world. As he vanished, the portal crackled with black lightning, preventing Sasuke from following. Despite his concern, Sasuke could only hope that Naruto would find safety and solace wherever he had gone. As Naruto stepped into the portal, a surge of black lightning erupted around him, creating an ominous and disorienting effect. Alarmed, he turned back towards the exit, but it was too late. The portal had sealed behind him. Naruto braced himself with no way to escape as the swirling energy enveloped him completely. Moments later, the intense sensation of being pulled through space and time overwhelmed him, and everything went black. When Naruto finally reappeared, he was in an unfamiliar world, his surroundings vastly different from anything he had known. Before he could even take in his new environment, the strain and shock of the journey caught up with him. Dizzy and disoriented, Naruto felt his strength leave him and he lost consciousness, collapsing onto the ground of this strange new world. As Naruto lay unconscious in the unfamiliar world, two figures approached him. Both were female, their concern evident as they hurried to his side. The first woman had striking crimson hair and vivid red eyes that reflected her determination and compassion. Her presence exuded a sense of strength and calm. She knelt beside Naruto, checking his pulse and assessing his condition with a practiced eye. The second woman had soft brown hair and captivating violet eyes that showed empathy and worry. She glanced around, ensuring no danger was nearby, before focusing on Naruto. "Is he all right?" the brown-haired woman asked, her voice tinged with concern. The crimson-haired woman nodded. "He's alive, but we need to get him somewhere safe so he can recover." Together, they gently lifted Naruto, the crimson-haired woman supporting his upper body, while the brown-haired woman carefully took his legs. They moved with practiced ease, clearly accustomed to helping those in need. "We should take him back to our place," the crimson-haired woman suggested, leading the way. The brown-haired woman agreed. "Yes, let's get him somewhere comfortable. He looks like he's been through a lot." As they carried Naruto away, the two women exchanged glances, silently hoping that their mysterious visitor would wake up soon and share his story. Still feeling the weight of what had transpired, Sasuke made his way back to the Hokage Tower. As he walked through the village, he noticed the curious and concerned glances of the villagers. Word had begun to spread about the incident, but the full details were still unknown to most. Sasuke knew that Kakashi needed to be informed about Naruto's departure and the reason for it. When Sasuke arrived at the Hokage's office, he knocked on the door, and Kakashi's calm voice beckoned him inside. "Come in," Kakashi said. Sasuke entered the room and closed the door behind him. Kakashi looked up from his paperwork and greeted him. "Hello, Sasuke. Is everything all right?" Sasuke took a deep breath, knowing that this conversation would be difficult. "Kakashi-sensei, we need to talk about Naruto. Something serious has happened." Kakashi's expression shifted to one of concern. "What is it, Sasuke? What's happened to Naruto?" Sasuke met Kakashi's gaze, his own eyes reflecting the gravity of the situation. Naruto found out that Hinata was unfaithful. He walked in on her and Kiba together. Kakashi's visible eye widened in shock, and he leaned back in his chair, absorbing the news. I can't believe it. Hinata and Kiba? How did Naruto take it?" "Not well," Sasuke replied, his tone heavy. "He was devastated. He couldn't stay in the village after that. He asked me to open a portal to another world so he could have time to think and decide what to do next." Kakashi sighed deeply, rubbing his temples. This is terrible. Naruto has always been the one to support everyone else, and now he's the one who needs help. Did he say where he was going?" "No," Sasuke said, shaking his head. "He just needed to get away. He left me his father's kunai in case we need to summon him back in an emergency." Kakashi nodded slowly, understanding the significance of Naruto's decision. "I see. We need to respect his decision and give him the space he needs. But we also need to address what happened here." Sasuke agreed. "Yes. The village needs to know the truth about why Naruto left. And we need to ensure that Hinata and Kiba understand the consequences of their actions." Kakashi's expression hardened slightly. "I'll handle that. The villagers deserve to know the truth, and Hinata and Kiba need to face the repercussions of their betrayal." Sasuke stood up, feeling relieved that he had informed Kakashi. "Thank you, Kakashi-sensei. I hope Naruto finds the peace he needs." Kakashi nodded. "So do I, Sasuke. So do I. We'll be here for him when he's ready to return." With that, Sasuke left the Hokage's office, leaving Kakashi to ponder the difficult path ahead. The village would have to come to terms with what had happened, and they would all need to support Naruto when he eventually returned. With Hinata, she lay on the bed, clutching Naruto's old jumpsuit jacket tightly to her chest, inhaling deeply to catch a faint whiff of his scent lingering on the fabric. It had only been a day since he left, but it felt like an eternity without him. The room was still and quiet except for the sound of Hinata's soft sobs as tears streamed down her face, leaving trails of moisture on the pillow beneath her head. Her hair was tangled and disheveled, starkly contrasting the neatly styled locks Naruto always admired. Memories of Naruto's mischievous grin, determination to protect those he cared about, and unwavering loyalty to his friends flooded her mind. She remembered how his eyes lit up when he talked about his hopes and dreams and always believed in her, even when she doubted herself. Hinata knew she had to leave the bed and face the day, but leaving the comfort of Naruto's jacket was too much for her. She buried her face in the fabric, seeking solace in the familiarity of his scent and the memories it evoked. For now, all she could do was live each moment as it came and find comfort in the things that made her think of Naruto. Suddenly, there was a soft knock on the door. Hinata, her voice dejected and empty, called out, "It's open." The door creaked open, and her younger sister Hanabi entered, her expression filled with concern. "Hinata, are you all right?" she asked gently, walking over to the bed. Hinata looked up, her eyes red and puffy from crying. "Hanabi," she whispered, her voice breaking. I've made a terrible mistake." Hanabi sat beside her sister, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. "Tell me what happened," she urged softly. Hinata took a shaky breath, her grip tightening on Naruto's jacket. "Naruto walked in on me and Kiba. We were drunk and it just happened. I don't even know how it started, but I betrayed him, Hanabi. I betrayed Naruto." Hanabi's eyes widened in shock, but she quickly composed herself, focusing on comforting her sister. Hinata, I'm so sorry. I can't imagine how much pain you're in right now. Hinata's sobs grew louder as she buried her face in Naruto's jacket. He left, Hanabi. He left because of what I did. I don't know where or if he's ever coming back. Hanabi wrapped her arms around Hinata, holding her tightly as she cried. We'll find a way to make things right, Hinata. We'll figure this out together. Right now, you need to take care of yourself. Hinata nodded weakly, her tears soaking into the jacket. I just want him to know how sorry I am. I want to make things right, but I don't know if I can. Hanabi held her sister close, her own heart breaking for the pain Hinata was going through. We'll find a way, Hinata. We'll find a way to bring Naruto back and make things right. For now, the two sisters sat together in silence, finding strength and comfort in each other's presence as they faced the difficult road ahead. In Izuka compound, Kiba trembled as his mother, Tsum, yelled at him, "You stupid boy, how could you break the clan rules?" Tsum was referring to the clan's strict code of loyalty to the village and never betraying friends and family. But I was intoxicated, mother, he stammered, trying to justify his actions. However, Tsum was having none of it. She slapped Kiba hard across the face, leaving a red handprint. Do you realize what your actions have caused me and the clan? Not only did you sleep with Hinata, the heiress of the Hyuga clan, but you also brought shame to our clan. She continued, her voice filled with disappointment and anger. You leave me no choice. You are no longer the clan heir, and Akamaru will be taken from you. With that, Tsum left the room, trying to figure out how to repair the damage her son had caused. Hana had been the one to tell Tsum about what had happened, which only intensified the gravity of the situation. Now, as Kiba sat alone, he knew he had lost everything. Since childhood, he had lost Hinata as a friend and deeply damaged his relationship with his best friend, Naruto. Kiba lowered his head, feeling a profound sense of shame and guilt. He wanted to blame the alcohol, but deep down he knew this wasn't a valid defense. He wasn't nearly as inebriated as Hinata and had consciously chosen to act on his emotions. Kiba realized he needed to apologize but didn't know where to start. He was curious to know if Hinata would be willing to talk to him. Winning back her trust after such a betrayal would be incredibly difficult. As he sat there, lost in thought, Kiba concluded that he needed to take responsibility for his actions. He had to face the consequences and try to make things right. It would be challenging, but he knew it was the only path forward. Kiba took a deep breath. He knew there was a long road ahead to repair the damage he had caused, but he was ready to take the necessary steps. It was the least he could do for his friends and himself. The next day, as Hinata walked down the road to her clan compound with Hanabi, she could feel the disdainful looks and hear the whispers from the village's female residents. She knew there was a clan meeting, and as the heiress of the Hyuga clan, she had to attend. Hinata tried to ignore the insults, but they were affecting her. Her body trembled, and her lip quivered. Feeling guilty after seeing and hearing everything, Hanabi lightly squeezed her sister's hand. Hinata looked at her dark brown-haired sister, nodded, and squeezed back. Unbeknownst to them, Kiba was nearby and witnessed everything. This is my chance to apologize, he thought, running towards the two Hyuga sisters. Hinata, he yelled, attracting not only her attention but also that of the villagers. Kiba ignored their stares. Oh no, Hanabi thought as she saw Kiba approaching. She noticed that everyone else in the village had stopped what they were doing and was focusing on them. Kiba took a deep breath as he approached Hinata, his heart heavy with guilt and regret. He knew he had deeply hurt her and was desperate to make things right. He could see the pain and anger in her eyes the moment she saw him. Hinata, please, Kiba began, his voice shaking with emotion. I know I messed up and I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you or Naruto. Hinata crossed her arms over her chest, her expression cold and distant. Do you expect me to forgive you just like that? She asked, flat and emotionless. Kiba shook his head, his eyes downcast. No, I don't. I know I betrayed your trust and don't deserve your forgiveness. But please hear me out. I need to explain. Hinata hesitated for a moment, then gave a slight nod. Fine, she said. Explain. Kiba took a deep breath and began to speak, his words tumbling out in a rush. He told Hinata everything, about how he had been jealous of Naruto and his relationship with her, how he had let his insecurities and fears get in the way of their friendship. He repeatedly apologized, telling Hinata how sorry he was for his actions. But as he spoke, Hinata's face remained impassive, her arms still crossed over her chest. Kiba could feel the weight of her disappointment and anger pressing down on him, and he couldn't help but think of Naruto and the pain and betrayal he had caused him. Finally, Hinata spoke. Kiba, just leave me alone. I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to forgive you, she said. You deeply hurt me, and you also hurt Naruto. Kiba's heart sank at her words, but he knew he deserved them. I know, he said, and I don't expect you to forgive me. But I hope you will find it in your heart to give me another chance someday. Hinata looked at him for a long moment, her expression unreadable. Then she turned and left Kiba alone to deal with his guilt and regret. The Hyuga sisters didn't take long to arrive at the compound. When they arrived, they immediately went to a room where they saw Hayashi, the current Hyuga clan head, with both main and branch members. Hayashi couldn't help but feel disappointed and a little angry when he saw Hinata. Her actions had cost the clan a lot. It was well known that Naruto would be the next Hokage. If he had married Hinata, it would have provided the clan with significant benefits. Although Hayashi didn't want to, he knew he had to remove Hinata as heiress. Father, please, she pleaded, her voice barely above a whisper. I know I made mistakes, but I will do anything to make things right. Hayashi's expression remained cold and unyielding. I am sorry, Hinata, but my decision is final. You have disgraced our clan, and I cannot allow you to continue as our heiress. Hinata felt tears prick at the corners of her eyes, and she bit her lip to hold back a sob. She had always known that being the heiress of the Hyuga clan was her destiny, but now, it seemed that destiny was being taken away from her. Hanabi, sensing Hinata's distress, spoke up. Oda-san, please reconsider. Hinata is a capable leader who has repeatedly demonstrated devotion to the village and the Hyuga clan. She deserves the opportunity to make things right. Hayashi's eyes narrowed as he turned to face Hanabi. You are too kind, Hanabi. However, this decision is final. Hinata has betrayed the clan, and I cannot let her continue in her position. Hinata's heart broke as she watched Hayashi rise from his seat and approach her. He took the Hyuga clan symbol from around her neck and placed it on the table between them, his heart heavy. You are no longer the heiress of the Hyuga clan, Hayashi said, his voice devoid of emotion. I'm sorry, Hinata, but you brought this on yourself. Hinata felt her family's eyes on her as she stood up from her seat, her hands trembling with emotion. She knew she had caused a rift between herself and her family, and it would take a long time to heal. With a final bow to Hayashi and her family, Hinata turned and left the room, her heart heavy with despair. It had been a week since Naruto had been found unconscious by Serena Gremory and Venelana Bale. Despite their best efforts using healing magic, he had not yet woken up, and their worry was growing with each passing day. Serena paced the room, her crimson hair cascading over her shoulders as she glanced anxiously at Naruto. Venelana, why isn't he waking up? We've tried everything we know. Venelana, her brown hair and violet eyes reflecting her concern, stood by Naruto's bedside. I don't know, Serena. His injuries were severe, but our magic should have healed him by now. Serena paused and turned to face Venelana. What if he's not from this world? His injuries looked like something we'd never seen before. What if our magic isn't enough because he's different? Venelana sighed, brushing a strand of hair from her face. That thought has crossed my mind. But how did he get here if he's not from our world? And why? Serena shook her head. I have no idea. But the civil war raging outside makes it even more urgent to figure this out. We can't afford any distractions or unexpected threats right now. Venelana nodded, her expression somber. We have to keep his presence a secret. If anyone finds out we're harboring an unknown individual, it could cause even more chaos. Serena sat down beside Naruto, gently placing her hand on his forehead. I just wish we knew his name or anything about him. It feels wrong not to know who he is when we're trying so hard to save him. Venelana placed a comforting hand on Serena's shoulder. We'll find out eventually. We must focus on keeping him stable and finding out what we can about his origins. Maybe there's something in the old texts that can help us. Serena looked up at Venelana, determination shining in her green eyes. You're right. We can't give up. Let's search the library and see if we can find any clues about where he might be from or how he got here. Venelana nodded, her resolve matching Serena's. Agreed. We'll take turns watching over him and researching. We can't let him down. As they left the room to begin their search, Naruto lay motionless on the bed, his face peaceful despite the turmoil around him. Serena and Venelana's determination to help him remained unwavering, and they silently vowed to uncover the truth about their mysterious guest, no matter what it took. The news of Hinata's actions had already reached the ears of Naruto's friends, making them gape in shock and disbelief. They were all congregated at the training grounds, trying to piece together their thoughts. Sakura's face went pale, her green eyes widened with shock. I just can't believe Hinata would do that. She was always so devoted to Naruto. Shikamaru sighed heavily, standing with his back against a tree and crossing his arms. I never thought she would do that to him. Naruto doesn't deserve this kind of pain. Ino shook her head, her blonde hair swaying to the side. Hinata was always so sweet and quiet. What could have driven her to do something like this? Choji was munching on a bag of chips, looking quite upset. Poor Naruto. He must be feeling terrible. Suddenly, Sasuke appeared. His expression was stoic, but his eyes revealed, just for a second, that he was worried. There's more, he said, and everyone turned towards him. Sakura turned to Sasuke, her voice filled with anxiety. What do you mean, Sasuke? What else could have happened? Sasuke took a deep breath before speaking. Naruto has left the elemental nations. A collective gasp went through the group. What? Sakura exclaimed. Where did he go? Why? Sasuke's eyes turned dark as he explained. Ever since what happened with Hinata, Naruto has been in intense pain. He felt betrayed and needed time to think. He asked me for my Rinnegan and opened a portal into another world. He said he needs to be alone to sort out what to do next. Shikamaru furrowed his brows in concern. Do you know where he went, Sasuke? Sasuke shook his head. No. The portal was unstable after he entered it. I couldn't follow him and didn't know where it led. I know he wanted to be far away from here. Ino looked stricken. But what if he needs our help? We can't just leave him out there all alone, right? And Sasuke's voice was firm. Naruto's strong. He'll find his way. But for now, we need to respect his decision. He asked for space and we must give it to him. Choji nodded solemnly. Sasuke's right. Naruto has always been here for us. We need to trust that he will return when he's ready. Sakura swiped at her cheek, trying to rid it of a building tear and be strong. I just hope that he knows no matter what, we are here for him, and when the time comes, we shall be ready to support him. Sakamaru sighed, his face thoughtful. Meanwhile, we need to make sure the village stays strong. Naruto wouldn't want us to fall apart while he's gone. The team nodded in agreement, their concern for Naruto evident. They knew they had to stick together and be prepared to welcome their friend back into their fold. In Naruto's mindscape, lightning flashed across the sky as storm clouds rolled overhead. Naruto stood tall, his chakra swirling around him like a protective barrier. Next to him was Kurama, the nine-tailed fox, growling with anticipation. Suddenly, a giant creature emerged from the darkness. Its three heads twisted and turned, revealing King Ghidorah, the Lord of Storms. Without hesitation, Naruto and Kurama charged towards Ghidorah, their powers fueled by determination. Ghidorah roared, unleashing lightning bolts at them as they dodged and weaved through his attacks. Each strike impacted the fabric of Naruto's mindscape. Together, Naruto and Kurama fought fiercely, matching strength with strength, until they finally weakened Ghidorah enough to deliver a finishing blow. With a powerful Rasengan infused with Kurama's chakra, they sent him crashing to the ground. As the dust settled, Naruto and Kurama cautiously approached the fallen creature, aware that Ghidorah might still have tricks up his sleeve. Who are you? Naruto demanded, his tone firm and commanding. Ghidorah chuckled darkly, his eyes gleaming with malice. "I am King Ghidorah, the Lord of Storms," he replied, his voice echoing ominously in the empty expanse of Naruto's mindscape. Naruto raised an eyebrow, suspicion evident on his face. "What are you doing in my mind?" Ghidorah grinned wickedly. "I was defeated by powerful beings, and my soul was sealed in the sacred gear," he explained, bitterness lacing his words. Naruto exchanged a wary glance with Kurama, knowing they had to be cautious with this vengeful entity. "What is this sacred gear?" he asked. Ghidorah's eyes gleamed with hatred. "The sacred gear is a powerful artifact created by the biblical god. My soul resides within it. It is a tool of power capable of twisting the very balance of this world." Naruto's curiosity deepened. "So you're trapped in this sacred gear? How did you end up in my mind?" Ghidorah growled, "My soul was sealed into the sacred gear long ago, and it led to you, guided by your overwhelming chakra and will. Your mind became a refuge where I could lie low and wait for an opportunity." Kurama narrowed his eyes. "So, you were planning to seize Naruto's mind and body?" Ghidorah laughed, a chilling sound in the stormy mindscape. "That was the plan, but you underestimated your bond and strength. Now that you know of my existence, our paths entwine." Naruto clenched his fists, determination blazing in his eyes. "I will not let you take over. We must find a way to deal with you properly." Ghidorah's eyes flickered with amusement. "You think you can control me? Many have tried and failed." "I'm not just any human," Naruto replied, standing his ground. "I have Kurama by my side, and we've faced worse than you. We will get through this." Kurama nodded. "We'll keep you in check, Ghidorah. You won't have another chance to wreak havoc." Ghidorah leaned down, a threat evident in his posture. "We shall see. But remember this, I am King Ghidorah, Lord of Storms. My power will not easily be held at bay." Naruto turned to Kurama, formulating a plan. "We need a way to seal him properly or use his power without letting him take over." Kurama smiled, his sharp teeth glinting. "Agreed. We'll figure out how to harness this sacred gear for our good. But for now, we need to watch him closely." Ghidorah regarded them with a mix of awe and hatred. "Very well, Naruto Uzumaki. I'll be here for now, but know this. My power will not be easily subdued." Naruto nodded, determination igniting in his eyes. "We'll see about that. For now, you stay right there. Kurama and I will take care of things from here." Ghidorah's voice echoed one last time. "First form, my sacred gear is a necklace." Naruto and Kurama turned away, leaving Ghidorah in his defeated state. They had a new challenge ahead, but they stood ready to meet it together. As the storms in the mindscape began to settle, they strategized their next steps to ensure Ghidorah's presence didn't disrupt their world. Outside of Naruto's mindscape, he slowly opened his eyes, blinking against the soft light filtering into the room. His vision cleared to reveal two appealing ladies standing before him. One had flowing crimson hair and striking green eyes, while the other had rich brown hair and captivating violet eyes. Both regarded him with a mixture of relief and curiosity. Naruto sat up, still aching from the fight in his mindscape. "Where am I?" he asked, his throat feeling dry. The red-haired lady stepped forward with a gentle expression. "You are safe. We found you unconscious and brought you here to recover. I'm Serena Gremory. This is Venelana Bale." She nodded, her violet eyes softening as she looked at Naruto. "You were in a bad state when we found you. We've been using healing magic to help you recover." Naruto rubbed his temples, trying to piece everything together. "Thank you for helping me. I had a battle in my mind with a creature called King Ghidorah." Serena's eyes widened slightly at the mention of Ghidorah. "King Ghidorah? The Lord of Storms? That's a name I've only heard in ancient texts." Venelana turned to Serena and then back to Naruto. "How did you come across such a being?" Naruto took a deep breath and recounted everything, from the battle with Ghidorah in his mindscape to what the creature had revealed about the sacred gear. As he spoke, he noticed the severity of the situation reflected in both women's expressions. King Ghidorah's soul sealed in a sacred gear. This is troubling, Serena finally replied, furrowing her brow. Sacred gears are powerful artifacts, and if one serves as a vessel for a creature like Ghidorah, it could lead to significant problems in the future. Venelana nodded. Indeed. We must learn more about this sacred gear and how to keep his influence in check. Naruto felt relieved that he wouldn't have to face such a formidable enemy alone. Thanks for the help. I don't know what's going on, but I'm willing to learn and do whatever it takes to control this power. Serena smiled reassuringly. We'll help you, Naruto. Together, we can figure out how to harness this sacred gear without letting Ghidorah take control. Naruto nodded, his eyes filling with determination. Alright, let's do this. And thank you again for saving me. Venelana placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. You're welcome, Naruto. Now, let's ensure you fully recover and devise a plan. As Naruto began to rise from the bed, a newfound drive ignited within him. With Serena and Venelana by his side, he felt ready to face whatever lay ahead, starting with understanding and mastering the sacred gear within him. Where exactly are we? Naruto asked, trying to get his bearings. Serena replied, You're in the underworld, specifically in a safe house we've been using. Naruto's eyes widened in shock. The underworld? You mean where devils live? Venelana nodded. Yes, Naruto. We are devils. The underworld is our realm. Naruto processed this information. Well, this is unexpected. I'm not from this world. I come from another world, one with shinobi and ninjutsu. Serena and Venelana exchanged intrigued glances. Another world? Serena asked. That would explain why your energy felt different. Naruto nodded. Yeah. I came here to clear my mind and figure things out after. A lot happened back home. Venelana's expression softened. We understand, no. You're welcome to stay here and recover. We can help you learn about this world and your sacred gear. A wave of gratitude washed over him. Thank you. I appreciate your kindness and support. Serena smiled. It's our pleasure, Naruto. Now let's figure out how to deal with this sacred gear and Ghidorah's presence. Renewed in purpose, Naruto felt ready to face whatever lay ahead, knowing he had allies in Serena and Venelana. In his mindscape, Naruto turned to Kurama, his expression serious. Do you think we can trust them, Kurama? Kurama's eyes grew thoughtful. I think so, Naruto. They are kind and offer help without hesitation. But it's always wise to be cautious, especially given our current situation. Naruto nodded, understanding the wisdom in Kurama's words. Though the odds were against them, he felt reassured with allies like these. We'll tread carefully, Naruto said firmly, but for now, let's work together and find a way out of this. With determination, Naruto and Kurama focused on the task at hand, ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. As Naruto trained with the sacred gear, he felt its energy flowing within him, merging with his being. Each day brought new challenges and ways to control this power. One day, he noticed something unusual with his right hand. It felt as if something inside had clicked. He heard a voice from Ghidorah, revealing that the cells of Harashirama had integrated into his own and that his hand was returning to its standard form. Naruto paused to process this information, flexing his fingers experimentally. Despite the shock, he felt a strange gratitude toward Ghidorah for the timely intervention. With renewed enthusiasm and determination, Naruto resumed training to manipulate the power of the sacred gear. Day in and day out, he grew closer to realizing its full potential, eager to see where it would take him. While he trained, Serena took the opportunity to explain how the supernatural world was organized. She sat in a corner of the shared space, unfolding mysteries beyond ordinary human understanding. Imagine a world, Serena began, her voice soft yet full of conviction, where beings of unimaginable power walk among us, hidden from the eyes of ordinary mortals. Naruto listened intently to every word. In this world, she detailed, every myth, legend, and tale holds a speck of truth. Gods and goddesses, demons and angels, vampires and werewolves, each ruling their domain. Naruto's eyes widened as he imagined the tapestry of supernatural beings coexisting in delicate balance. We have devils like myself, Serena said, her red hair glinting in the faint light. Beings of extraordinary power from the underworld, who wield magic beyond mortal comprehension. She nodded toward Venelana, who acknowledged her with a knowing look, her violet eyes shining with wisdom. And then there are angels, Serena continued, her voice respectful. Celestial beings tasked with maintaining order and harmony in the cosmos, their radiant presence a beacon of hope. Naruto nodded, absorbing it all with awe. But there is more in the supernatural world than devils and angels, Serena said, her expression turning serious. There are many other races, each with unique talents and cultures, from the mysterious dragons to the elusive fae. As she spoke, Naruto's mind filled with images of mythical creatures and legendary beings. Understanding the supernatural world is vital, Serena emphasized, her eyes meeting his. It is a realm of danger and intrigue, where alliances form and enemies clash, and where strength and knowledge are essential for survival. Naruto felt a fire ignite within him. He knew that mastering the sacred gear was just the first step into this vast and mysterious realm, and he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Serena's voice turned somber as she narrated the intricate details of the Devil Civil War, a conflict that had thrown the supernatural world into chaos. The Devil Civil War, she began, is a struggle for power, a battle for dems waged by different factions of devil kind. He listened intently, concern etched on his brow as he grasped the enormity of it all. At its core lies a struggle for control of the underworld, Serena explained, the realm from which devils derive their power. She described how various factions vied for supremacy, each trying to assert their influence and claim the title of ruler. The war has claimed countless lives, she said, her voice tinged with sadness. Its effects resonate throughout devil society, reaching even the lowest ranks. Naruto's expression darkened as he realized the devastation this war had wrought. But amid the chaos, Serena continued, her eyes locked with his, there are those who strive for peace, for unity, for an end to the bloodshed and a new way forward for devil kind. She spoke of individuals who dared to challenge the status quo in pursuit of something better. As an heir incarnate, she said, her gaze intense, you will be drawn into this war, whether you want to be or not. But know that you are not alone. You have allies who will stand beside you. Naruto nodded, determination etched on his face. He could not bear to see others suffer, and he was resolved to do whatever it took to end the Devil Civil War and usher in a new era of peace. Further training with the sacred gear allowed him to unlock its second form, a gauntlet that enhanced his abilities, granting him even greater strength. Under Serena's guidance, Naruto focused his energy and mind, channeling his power to unleash the sacred gear's latent potential. A brilliant golden light enveloped his hand, forming a majestic gauntlet adorned with intricate designs and a shining blue gem at its center. Naruto stared in awe at the gauntlet, feeling a surge of energy within him. He was prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead with renewed courage. Equipped with the sacred gear gauntlet, he felt a renewed sense of purpose and resolve, realizing he held the key to unlocking his hidden potential and fulfilling his destiny as a force for good in the supernatural world. As the days passed, Naruto's training sessions with Serena and Venelana grew more intense. As a skilled practitioner of hand-to-hand combat and MSTR of chakra, he helped them refine their magical abilities and martial arts techniques. With each session, Serena and Venelana improved, their movements becoming fluid and precise. Naruto watched with pride as they embraced the path he was teaching them, eager to grow in power by his side. Yet, amidst the training and camaraderie, an unspoken tension lingered, a silent understanding of the feelings blossoming within their hearts. Both Serena and Venelana found themselves drawn to Naruto in ways they couldn't fully comprehend. The admiration and respect they held for him began to evolve into something deeper, akin to love. Though their feelings yearned to break free, they hesitated, fearful of jeopardizing the strong friendship they shared with Naruto and the bond they had formed. The uncertainty weighed heavily on their minds, casting a shadow over their interactions and leaving them unsure of how to proceed. Naruto felt a slight change in their relationship, sensing the unspoken emotions beneath the surface. Although he wasn't sure about their depth toward him, he was drawn to the warmth and companionship they offered. He decided to show his appreciation and trust in Serena and Venelana by gifting each a kunai, a symbol of their bond and the strength they derived from one another. This small token represented a deep connection and an unspoken promise of loyalty and brotherhood that kept them together. This time, their hearts would be bound by fate as they trained on, standing united through every challenge ahead. As the year passed, Naruto became more adept at using his sacred gear abilities. New powers emerged, providing fresh avenues for research and skill enhancement. With abilities like energy drain, light manipulation, and gravity manipulation, Naruto was capable of feats he had never imagined. His third form of sacred gear, the golden armor scale mill, stood as a testament to his strength and will. Protected by it, Naruto became a beacon of hope against the darkness threatening to engulf the world. Yet, amidst his training and the constant threat of supernatural enemies, Naruto faced a personal battle with emotions buried deep inside. As memories of Hinata's betrayal began to fade, replaced by the warmth of Serena and Venelana's companionship, a new sense of peace blossomed within him. Despite his attempts to ignore his rising feelings, Kurama's teasing remarks reminded him of the truth he sought to avoid. He couldn't help but be drawn to Serena and Venelana, whose presence filled his days with laughter and joy. Their unwavering support and devotion provided comfort in this perilous world, forging a bond much deeper than mere friendship. With Serena and Venelana by his side, Naruto embraced a journey of self-discovery and love he had never imagined. He knew that no matter the trials ahead, his brave and determined heart would rise to overcome any obstacle toward a brighter tomorrow. Within weeks, the changes became undeniable. His sister, Serena, and her friend, Venelana, had gained significant power, defeating many formidable foes. Sasuke, Serena's brother, couldn't help but feel envious of their strength and the secrecy surrounding their activities. One evening, upon their return from a mysterious outing, he confronted them in the grand hall of their family estate. "Where have you two been?" Sasuke growled, frustration evident in his voice. "You've been disappearing for hours and coming back stronger every time. What's going on?" Serena met Venelana's gaze before responding calmly. "Our activities are none of your concern, Sasuke. We are handling matters that do not require your involvement." His anger barely contained, Sasuke clenched his fists. "None of my concern? Do you think I haven't noticed how powerful you've become? You don't just handle matters. You go out there fighting and defeating old faction devils. What are you hiding?" Venelana stepped forward, her violet eyes sparkling defiantly. "Sasuke, we have our reasons. Trust that we're doing what's necessary for us and the safety of our people." Jealousy flared in Sasuke as his envy boiled over. "You always think you know best, don't you, Serena? But mark my words, whatever you're up to, I'll find out. And when I do, I'll make sure everyone knows." Serena's eyes glimmered with a silent threat. "Be careful, Sasuke. Jealousy blinds you to the real dangers we face. If you truly want to protect our people, focus on becoming stronger yourself instead of undermining us." With that, Serena and Venelana turned to leave, leaving Sasuke fuming alone in the empty hall, his mind racing to uncover their secret and driven by a longing to prove himself worthy. Unbeknownst to him, his actions would lead to a greater conflict, threatening to unravel the very fabric of their world. While Serena and Venelana further pursued their training secretly with Naruto, the full extent of their new strength and the hurdles they would face remained undisclosed. Over time, Naruto became incredibly adept at using his sacred gear. He learned to activate and use his scale mail armor with a less aggressive Ghidorah. This golden armor and his chakra-based attacks helped him blend his new powers seamlessly with the ninja techniques he was mastering. He continued to develop and improve himself by creating new jutsu that combined his chakra with the powers of his sacred gear. Naruto's training was intense and relentless. He had mastered an impressive number of elemental jutsu, and his combat diversity grew daily. His greatest pride was the lightning-style Rasengan, a technique that fused his chakra manipulation with his newly learned elemental skills. Serena and Venelana watched Naruto's progress with admiration and tenderness. Months spent training together had strengthened their bond, and both women had developed feelings for him but were hesitant to confess, fearing it might disrupt their harmony. Naruto remained unaware of their feelings or the source of their newfound powers, consumed instead by his jealousy and ambition to surpass his sister. That evening, after a physically taxing training session, Naruto and Kurama were in their shared mindscape, discussing his progress. "You're getting stronger every day, Naruto," Kurama said with pride. "Ghidorah's powers are formidable, and you're learning to HRS them well." Naruto nodded, determination in his eyes. "Yeah, but I need to keep pushing myself. There's still so much to learn and many ways I can improve." Kurama chuckled. "Just don't forget to take a break once in a while. You've been working tirelessly." Naruto smiled. "I know, Kurama. I just have to be ready. For anything." Suddenly, the presence of Ghidorah made itself known, less intimidating than before. "Your progress is impressive, human," Ghidorah's voice echoed in the mindscape. "You have proven to be a worthy host." Naruto looked at Ghidorah with gratitude. "Thank you, Ghidorah. I couldn't have done it without your help." Ghidorah's eyes gleamed with pride and approval. "You are welcome. But remember, great power comes with great responsibility. Use it wisely." Naruto nodded. "I will. I promise." Meanwhile, in the real world, Serena and Venelana were discussing Naruto, their thoughts often drifting to him. "Naruto has come so far," Serena said, her green eyes reflective. "He's become mighty." Venelana agreed. "Yes, and he's helped us grow stronger too. His training methods, fusing chakra and magic, are innovative." Serena sighed gently. "I just wish we could tell him how we feel." Venelana placed a reassuring hand on Serena's shoulder. "In time, Serena. For now, let's focus on supporting him and each other." As they talked, their bond grew stronger, tied by mutual respect and affection for Naruto. Unbeknownst to them, their world was on the brink of significant challenges, and the strength they had cultivated would soon be tested. For now, they found comfort in their progress and the bonds they had forged, unaware of the lurking shadows threatening to disrupt it all. A month had passed since Naruto's departure, and during this time, the actions of Hinata and Kiba had spread throughout the elemental nations, making their environment increasingly hostile. Hinata had become cold and distant, isolating herself from her friends as she dedicated all her time to training. The once gentle Hyuga heiress was now a shadow of her former self, consumed by guilt and regret. Kiba, too, fell victim to the villagers' wrath. His remorseful demeanor replaced his cheerful nature. He avoided public places and spent most of his time alone, reflecting on his actions. The admiration he once received had turned into malice and anger. Enraged by the treatment of Naruto, learned of the incident and confronted Hinata and Kiba. The atmosphere was tense as she faced them, her eyes blazing with fury. "You two have disgraced yourselves in this village." Tsunade's voice was sharp. "Do you even know what you did to Naruto?" Kiba trembled, trying to stammer out an apology. "Lady Tsunade, I—" "Silence!" Tsunade's voice cut through the air. "You both betrayed the one person who believed in you, who would have given his life for you. You are no longer worthy of his friendship or this village's respect." Just as she was about to unleash her fury, Sakura and Shikamaru intervened. Sakura stepped forward with pleading eyes. "Lady Tsunade, please stop. Naruto wouldn't want this." Tsunade's anger faltered for a moment. "Sakura, you do not know," Shikamaru spoke calmly. "Naruto has already left the elemental nations. He is trying to move on with his life, and so should we. Violence won't change what happened." Tsunade's shoulders drooped as her anger shifted to sadness. She knew Shikamaru was right, but Naruto's heartbreak still stung. Turning her back on Hinata and Kiba, her voice softened, filled with sorrow. "You too are fortunate. If it were up to me, you would be exiled." News of this scandal had spread to every village in the elemental nations, highlighting the betrayal Hinata had committed and Kiba's role in it. The Hyuga clan was highly esteemed but was now criticized and scorned. Hinata's father felt this especially, struggling to balance his duty as clan head with being a responsible father, and he could not hide his disappointment in Hinata. Kakashi sat behind his desk in the Hokage's office, lost in thought. His eyes turned up as the door opened, and Tsunade walked in, her face a mix of anger and sorrow. "Kakashi," Tsunade began, her voice heavy with emotion, "Naruto was like a son to me. Seeing him go away like this breaks my heart." Kakashi nodded, understanding her pain. "I know, Tsunade-sama. But we have to have faith that Naruto will find his way. He's resilient and will come back when he's ready." Tsunade sighed, gazing out the window at the village below. "I hope you're right, Kakashi. I hope he knows that, no matter where that path takes him, he has a family here that loves him." Kakashi nodded and stood, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "He knows. And when he's ready, we'll be here waiting for him." While the village of Konoha continued to grapple with the fallout of Hinata and Kiba's actions, the memory of Naruto's unyielding spirit remained a light that kept hearts high. The friends and comrades he left behind would support his legacy and each other, believing that one day, Naruto would return home, to a place that would always welcome him with open arms. Naruto, Sarina, and Venelana were concluding a rigorous sparring session. The sound of fists striking flesh and feet scuffling on the ground echoed through the clearing. Despite the intensity of the battle, there was camaraderie and respect among them. Naruto moved smoothly between Sarina and Venelana, blocking their attacks and countering where possible. His unrefined muscular power merged with refined technique, a result of countless hours of training and determination. Sarina, with her crimson hair flowing like fire, unleashed powerful blows, while Venelana's graceful precision complemented her companion's aggression. "You're getting better, Sarina," Naruto called out, ducking under a high kick from her and then striking with a sweeping leg kick that knocked her off balance. Sarina smirked, pausing to wipe a bead of sweat from her brow. "Thanks, but we're no match for you, Naruto." Venelana regained her footing, nodding. "Your training methods are effective, Naruto. We've improved so much under your guidance, but you've improved even more." Naruto chuckled, stepping back to give them a moment to catch their breath. "You both are incredible fighters. Training with you is an honor." Renewed by energy, they coordinated their next attack. Sarina launched a punch into Naruto's midsection, while Venelana swept down, aiming for his legs. Anticipating their moves, he twisted to avoid Sarina's punch and leapt over Venelana's kick. In one smooth motion, he landed behind them and tapped their shoulders, signaling the end of the match. "It seems I've won again," Naruto said, grinning playfully. Sarina and Venelana exchanged glances, flushed from exertion and admiration. "You're amazing, Naruto," Sarina confessed, catching her breath. "No wonder you've come so far in such a short time." Venelana nodded, a soft smile on her lips. "Indeed. Your strength and skill are unmatched." He nervously rubbed the back of his head under their praise. "Thanks, but I couldn't have done it without you two pushing me. We've all grown strong together." As they rested, Naruto's thoughts drifted back to his time in the elemental nations. It had been a year, and while he missed his old friends, he had found new allies and perhaps something more. His feelings for Sarina and Venelana had deepened, not helped by Kurama's constant teasing. "Naruto," Sarina said, breaking him from his reverie, "thank you for everything. You've taught us so much and become a dear friend." Venelana added, "We owe you a lot, Naruto. Not just for the training but for being here with us." Naruto looked at them, his heart swelling with gratitude and affection. "You two have done just as much for me. I'm glad to have met you both." That moment of understanding brought them closer than anything else could. Naruto's journey in this new world had presented challenges he never expected, but it also forged deep connections. Standing with Sarina and Venelana at his side, he knew they could face whatever lay ahead together. In a dimly lit, secluded location, a man tapped his foot, hidden from prying eyes. He was surrounded by dense woods, waiting to meet Shalba Beelzebub, a key leader in the old Satan faction, pivotal to unfolding sinister plans. As the minutes passed, the crunching of leaves announced Shalba's arrival. He appeared with a confident stride. "Sirzex," he greeted with a nod, his voice laced with intrigue. "I hope you have obtained the information we discussed." Sirius nodded, his face grim. Yes, Shalba. I have detailed plans regarding Serena and Venelana's movements. Our spies have been diligent, and I have pinpointed the exact location and timing of their next attack. Shalba's eyes lit up with interest. Excellent. Tell me everything. He spread out an intricate map on a nearby rock, pointing to a location marked in red. Here is where Serena and Venelana and their forces will attack. This stronghold holds power for us. They will hit it with everything they have at dawn. Shalba studied the map, nodding thoughtfully. With this, we'll be able to set a trap, and the tide shall finally flow in our favor. You have done well, Surzex. Surzek's eyes darkened with determination. This is but the beginning, Shalba. My sister has always taken precedence over me in power and influence. It's time we cut her down and seized control for ourselves. Shalba grinned, his expression twisted with ambition. Your ambition shall be greatly rewarded. With Serena and Venelana out of the way, the old Satan faction will regain its rightful place. Surzex folded the map and handed it to Shalba. Be sure that your forces are ready. This has to go off without a hitch. Serena and Venelana are formidable and won't easily back down. Leave that to me, Shalba assured. I'll make sure our traps. Perfect. When they walk into it, there will be no escape. Nodding, satisfaction flickered in Surzek's eyes. Good. Keep me informed of any developments. This alliance must remain secret until we have achieved our goals. Shalba extended a hand. To our future victory, Surzex. Surzex shook Shalba's hand, sealing their alliance. To victory, he echoed, a dark smile on his lips. As they turned to leave, anticipation churned in his gut. The plan was set in motion, and soon he would step out from under his sister's shadow and claim the power that was rightfully his. Their enemies wouldn't last long with Shalba and the old Satan faction at his command. Anti-Satan faction headquarters, War Council Room. Tension filled the War Council Room at dawn. Some of the most powerful and influential devils gathered to strategize an offensive against the old Satan faction. At the head of the table was Zekrom Baal, founder of the Baal clan, whose presence commanded respect. Serena and Venelana stepped aside to finalize preparations for their assault on a vital base of the old Satan faction. Their confidence surged, not just from their training but also from their new ally, Tharno. Ajuka Beelzebub and Seraphal Leviathan coordinated strikes to weaken the old Satan faction from multiple fronts, their tactical skills renowned. Surzex and Falbium Asmodeus were assigned to protect their bases and ensure a safe home front against potential counterattacks. Zekrom's deep voice resonated through the chamber. We have made significant gains against the old Satan faction, but today's offensive is crucial. We need to strike hard and hold nothing back. Serena, you and Venelana have the primary mission. The base you're attacking hosts key members of their command structure. Serena nodded seriously. Understood, Lord Baal. We are well prepared, and we will succeed. Our forces are ready, Venelana added. We will hit them hard and fast, minimizing their ability to retaliate. Standing beside a map of the battlefield, Ajuka spoke up. Seraphal and I will coordinate our attacks to coincide with yours. We plan to spread them thin and confuse their ranks. Seraphal, her demeanor serious, chimed in. We have identified weaknesses in their defenses. Our attacks will pave the way for you. Surzex listened intently, his mind racing with various thoughts, not all of them focused on the war. Beneath the surface, his ambitions and jealousy simmered. We'll maintain a strong defense at our bases. The old Satan faction will not break through our lines, he said, concealing his true emotions. Falbium, ever the strategist, added, our intelligence suggests that the enemy may attempt a diversionary attack. We must remain vigilant. Zekrom nodded approvingly. Good. We must be prepared for any eventuality. Serena, Venelana, your mission is critical. The success of our entire plan depends on your ability to take out that base. Serena and Venelana exchanged a resolute glance. We won't let you down, Serena said firmly. As the meeting concluded, Zekrom stood. May our efforts today bring us closer to victory. Dismissed. The council members dispersed, and Serena and Venelana walked with purpose, ready to confront their enemies. Surzex lingered, his gaze on his sister as she left the room. Thoughts of Shalba's secret meeting crossed his mind, considering the trap that had been laid. Forces waited outside, lined up and ready to move, the air thick with tension as the battle approached. Serena and Venelana rallied their troops, issuing final orders. "Remember, this is for the future of our kind," Serena called out. "We fight not just for ourselves, but for all devils wanting a better world. Keep your wits about you, brother. Trust in your training. We will overcome," Venelana added. As they led their forces toward the battlefield, anticipation ran high. Stepping out to meet whatever lay ahead, unaware of the betrayal lurking nearby, Serena, Venelana, and their troops prepared for the decisive moment of their mission, and possibly the entire war. With Naruto, while the war council met and forces prepared, Naruto trained in a remote field within the Gremory estate, seeking solitude to perfect his skills. Surrounded by tall ancient trees, the training ground provided a natural barrier for focus. In the clearing, Naruto concentrated on combining fire release with his Rasengan, a complex task requiring precise chakra control and elemental manipulation. He took a deep breath, centered himself, and drew through his chakra. His right hand began to glow as the Rasengan formed into a swirling ball of pure energy. "All right, let's do this," he muttered. Naruto focused, pushing his fire chakra into the Rasengan. Traces of red began to flicker over its surface, but it was hard to keep balance as the chakra flared up wildly. The natural rotation of the Rasengan clashed with the fire nature he was trying to infuse. "Come on," Naruto gritted his teeth, sweat forming on his brow. He adjusted his stance, grounding himself as he focused on the swirling energy in his hand. The Rasengan flared, flames liking at its edges. For a moment, it seemed steady, but then the fire chakra surged too strongly. The sphere exploded outward in heat and force, knocking Naruto back. "Damn it," he exclaimed, frustrated. "This is harder than I thought." Kurama's voice echoed in his mind. "You are trying to force it too much, Naruto. Fire chakra is wild, you need to guide it, not control it." Naruto nodded, taking a moment to catch his breath. "Right, guide it, not control it. Let's try again." He created another Rasengan, this time focusing on his chakra flow. He allowed the fire nature to mix more organically, picturing flames flowing inside his sphere. Another Rasengan glowed with a vibrant red color. Flames danced within. "That's it," encouraged Kurama. "Keep it steady." Naruto sustained the balance, feeling the heat from the fire chakra mixed with the energy of the Rasengan. He held it for a second, ensuring it was stable, then released the technique into the ground. The impact created a fiery explosion, scorching the earth and sending smoke into the air. Breathing, Naruto grinned. "I did it. Finally, fire release Rasengan." Kurama chuckled. "Not bad, kid. Practice more and you'll get the hang of it." As Naruto perfected his new technique through continued training, he was unaware of the turmoil unfolding with Serena, Venelana, and the Devil Civil War. He pushed himself to grow stronger for whatever challenges awaited him in this new world. Serena and Venelana stood at the entrance to the enemy base, their power of destruction rippling through the air, washing away barriers. The base was silent, and an uneasy feeling settled over their forces. "Something's not right," Venelana muttered, her violet eyes scanning the empty base. Serena nodded in understanding. "Stay alert," she ordered, her crimson hair flowing behind her as she moved forward cautiously. Suddenly, a heavy downpour of powerful spells showered down on them. The unexpected assault led to cries of pain and terror as deadly spells rained down. Many were quick enough to react with defensive spells, but others were not so fortunate. "Formations of defense," yelled Serena, trying to rally her remaining forces. As the smoke began to clear, 3 figures emerged from the shadows. Shalba Beelzebub, surrounded by a menacing swarm of flies, Caesar Leviathan, icy and commanding, and Caitlin Leviathan, her eyes cold and filled with deadly magic. "Ah, here we have the Serena and Venelana," Caitlin sneered. "Welcome to your doom." Caesar and Caitlyn moved with deadly grace, their magic freezing the ground and turning enemies into crystalline statues. Serena and Venelana prepared their power of destruction, but it was an uphill battle against the coordinated attacks of the Leviathan twins. Serena cast a wave of destruction to counter the ice attacks, but Caitlyn followed up with a barrage of ice spears. The battle intensified as Serena clashed with Caesar, their powers colliding fiercely. Despite their skills, the two women were soon overwhelmed. Shalba's King of Flies was particularly troublesome, its swarm of attacks precise and relentless. Each wave of flies they fought through was followed by another, draining their vitality and focus. "Serena, we can't hold them off like this," Venelana shouted, her breathing heavy, her face marked with shallow cuts. Serena gritted her teeth, her eyes burning with determination. "We have to try." The battle raged on, and it quickly became clear they were losing. Their forces had been harassed, and their immense powers were stretched to the limit. "Time to end things," Shalba declared, his eyes flashing as he readied a final, devastating attack. Caesar and Caitlyn joined him, combining their magic into a gigantic spell of darkness aimed at Serena and Venelana. The outlook was grim, as they were nearly out of energy, their forces decimated. "Serena, we can't take much more," Venelana whispered, desperate for a boost. In a moment of desperation, Serena pulled out the kunai Naruto had given her. "Naruto, please," she murmured, channeling her remaining power into the kunai. It lit up brightly just as the attack was about to hit. Suddenly, a flare of golden light erupted, and a figure appeared, blocking the attack. Wearing black imbu breathes and a white shirt, Naruto had a fierce look on his face, determination shining in his eyes as he arrived just in time. "Get away from them," he bellowed, his voice resonating with authority. He dispelled the attack with a sweep of his arm, creating a shockwave throughout the area. Shalba, Caesar, and Caitlyn stared in shock and anger as their attack was foiled. "Who are you?" Shalba glowered. Naruto's blue eyes flared with intensity. "I'm Naruto Uzumaki." Earlier, Naruto had been lying on the grass, catching his breath after intense training. He had been thinking of Serena and Venelana, the two women who had become very important in his life. He smiled as he pondered how far he could fall in love again after being betrayed. That peace was shattered, however, when he felt a sudden tingle from the kunai he had given Serena. It pulsed with energy, clear evidence that it had been activated. Realizing they were in danger, his eyes blazed with rage. "No, not them," he muttered, his heart pounding. Without hesitation, Naruto tapped into his chakra, focusing on the location connected to the kunai. With a flash, he vanished from the ground where he was standing, only reappearing on the battlefield where Serena and Venelana were fighting for their lives against Shalba Beelzebub and his overpowering forces, Caesar and Caitlyn Leviathan. Their power of destruction clashed against ice attacks and swarms of flies, but they couldn't hold back. "Serena, we can't hold on much longer," Venelana said desperately. Tired and bloodied, Serena drew out the kunai Naruto had given her. "Naruto, please," she whispered, clutching it with the last of her strength. Just as the killing blow was about to hit them, a bright flash of light erupted, and Naruto appeared, quickly blocking the attack. He stood in his black imbu breathes and white shirt, determination radiating from him. "Get away from them," he shouted, his voice resonating with energy. With one swift motion, he dispelled the attack, sending shockwaves around the area. Shalba, Caesar, and Caitlyn stumbled back, shocked and angry that their assault had been thwarted. "Who are you?" Shalba asked, his eyes narrowing. Naruto's blue eyes burned with anger. "I'm Naruto Uzumaki." Now that Naruto had sent his clones to check on Serena's and Venelana's wounds, he focused on the three devils before him. He locked them in a steely gaze, preparing for what would happen next. Shalba, Caesar, and Caitlyn exchanged wary glances, realizing Naruto was far from being a pushover. They knew they couldn't afford to let their guard down, even with their numerical advantage. The battle resumed in silence. Azul sprang into the fight once more, fluid and precise, dodging and counterattacking all that his enemies could throw at him, From Shalba summoning a swarm of flies to Caesar's icy blasts and Caitlyn's razor-sharp icicles, met by Naruto's determined will. Blow by blow, Naruto countered the devils with his senjutsu-enhanced abilities. With every charge of his Rasengan, he pounded his enemies, inflicting devastating damage and breaking down their defenses with relentless determination. Feeling their imminent defeat, Shalba, Caesar, and Caitlyn desperately tried to retreat. But Naruto wasn't going to let that happen. Raising all his chakra for a mighty jutsu, he summoned a gigantic tail beast Rasen Shuriken, a swirling mass of energy crackling with raw power. With a mighty battle cry, Naruto flung the Rasen Shuriken toward his fleeing enemies. The projectile traveled through the air with incredible speed and accuracy, heading straight for its targets. Before Shalba, Caesar, and Caitlyn could react, the Rasen Shuriken hit them in a brilliant blast of light and energy. The force of impact overwhelmed them, sending shockwaves across the battlefield that shook the very foundations of the underworld. When the dust settled, Naruto stood victorious, his enemies defeated and their escape foiled. Breathing with pride, he surveyed the battlefield. He had proven himself a formidable opponent against the forces of darkness, and he was determined to protect his friends and allies. As Naruto worked his healing magic, Serena and Venelana felt the pain ebb away, replaced by a soothing warmth that flowed through them. The cuts and bruises gradually vanished, and strength returned with every moment. "Thank you, Naruto," Serena murmured, her voice full of gratitude. Venelana nodded in agreement, her eyes shining with appreciation. "You are a good warrior," she said admiringly. Naruto smiled warmly back at them, pride swelling in his heart. "It was the least I could do. You two are my friends, and I will always be there for you." Rejuvenated and their wounds tended to, Serena and Venelana stood tall, looking at each other with mutual understanding. Serena boldly stepped forward, closing the space between her and Naruto. Summoning her courage, she leaned over and pressed her lips to Naruto's. The kiss was soft and tender. Wide-eyed with surprise, Naruto returned it, his heart filled with shock and excitement. They shared a passionate kiss, with Serena pouring all her feelings into the embrace, showing her love for Naruto in every touch. Feeling the NTMT moment, Venelana stepped forward, her eyes welling with tears of joy. She leaned in and kissed Naruto, her lips pressing passionately against his. Warmth swelled in Naruto's heart as he kissed her back, his emotions for both Serena and Venelana rushing forth. Their cheeks flushed as their hearts raced uncontrollably. Looking into their eyes, years of love and affection burst from his chest, quickening Naruto's heartbeat. "I love you too," he said, his voice warm and tender. With feelings now out in the open. Their bond strengthened by a mutual embrace, Naruto, Serena, and Venelana stood together to face whatever lay ahead. They gazed at the horizon and realized that no matter what future awaited them, they could stand against anything as long as they had each other. As their enemies seized the chance to flee, Naruto, Serena, and Venelana looked on, feeling relief yet firm in their resolution. They had missed the opportunity to pursue these fleeing foes but understood that their priority had to be ensuring everyone was safe and regrouped for the battles to come. As the transportation circle slowly vanished, Naruto, with his determined gaze, looked first at Serena and then at Venelana. "We'll catch up with them and finish this," he said, his voice resolute. "But for now, let's focus on regrouping and making sure everyone gets home safe and sound." Serena and Venelana nodded, their eyes reflecting the same fire that burned in Naruto's. "We won't let them get away with what they've done," Serena vowed, her voice steady with determination. "We will make them pay for their actions, no matter the cost." Venelana's eyes sparkled with conviction as she echoed Serena's vow, declaring, "We will stand together, fighting until justice is served." With their will strengthened and their relationships solidified through the trials they had faced, Naruto, Serena, and Venelana stood side by side, ready for whatever lay ahead. Looking to leave the remnants of the battle behind them, they knew it was far from over, but together, they were prepared to confront any challenges that awaited them.